Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Howdy.
Howdy. I love that that's your greeting always.
Yes.
Oh, good. How are you?
All the usual. I'm about to go on my next adventure, but basking in the joy of seeing my two favorite bands live for the first time.
Yes.
Yes,
I love that you're still living that high.
I just framed the posters today,
Oh, very good.
put them up.
Very good. Very good. I am dog sitting a dog I know, but in a new location. Um, so if and it's also on the ground floor of a condo complex, so she might bark if she sees anyone outside. FYI. But
Mhm.
we'll get through it. Hi, friends. Hello, people. How are you all? We've got oh, I almost said expired milk. We do have expired milk here.
Ooh.
Hi, expired milk. And then we've got Existential Gamer and Carissa, Capricorn. Hello, hello. Hope you're all well. So yeah, expired milk found this article that we're going to look at tonight. Originally, we had a different topic, but then she found this one, and I was like, oh, who
Yeah.
better to talk about separatism and women only spaces than you?
Yes,
Because
for
you,
once the algorithm was doing its job. I'm
yeah.
not a subscriber to this outlet though, so I could not actually click on it, but now
Oh,
is my chance.
now's your chance. So, yeah, I was very excited when you found this.
Mm.
So, let's dive in. From the New York Times, one, no, not one woman,
One woman I know.
just one. So, 11 women, 9 dogs, not much drama, and no guys. So these retired women in Texas have been through infertility, illness, layoffs, addiction, and disappointing marriages. Now they're trying to create a utopia just for themselves. That
Snaps
sounds
for them.
right. It sounds so nice. Ugh. So let's dive in. Interject as you please, please. Hi, Maria. Hi, Pine. Hello. Okay. 11 women live at the Bird's Nest, a tiny house village in East Texas, a remote spot where the hay bales look as big as school buses and roads have numbers instead of names. The women, 9 of whom are retired and range in age from about 60 to 80 years old, share the explicit goal of keeping one another company into old age, possibly until death. The Bird's Nest declares itself a women-only community, and the inhabitants broadly agree that, at this age, women are easier long-term companions than men. At
Good for
any
them.
age.
Yes, at any age.
Um,
At least by that age, the hormones have cooled off and died, and everyone has been returned to sanity.
mhm. Yeah, this sounds really nice.
Mhm.
Most of the Bird's Nest women are single, as are half of American women 65 and older. Most are also divorced. One has never been married, and one, a widow, has the perfect relationship with a man who lives out of state. I mean, that's a form of separatism,
Yeah.
not living with a man. So
Mhm.
good for her. Among them, they have 21 children and 24 grandchildren who are scattered across the country from Washington state to Arkansas. 9 dogs live on the property, our babies, they call them. Very good.
Mhm.
For a while, the women kept a turkey named Turk, a goose named Mother, and 3 ducks. But over time, they found they couldn't keep up with the poop. When
Mhm.
Turk developed an aggressive streak, they decided the birds had to go. I love that turkey, said Robin Urian wistfully.
Yeah.
Aw.
Ooh, we got a shot of the decor here. Is that what's going
Yeah, so
on?
hanging out in the area the residents call the kitchen. I'll just zoom out a bit so you can
Awesome.
get the full scope of that photo.
Very
Just hanging out.
nice.
That's so cute. Maria says, tiny house living is not for everyone. Don't underestimate. I would agree. I've seen lots of like photos and stuff of tiny houses or video tours or whatever, and it does seem not for me, but feminist living does seem for me.
Yeah.
Okay, Urian is the Bird's Nest property owner, a 70-year-old extrovert with cropped, bleached hair and a cheerful demeanor. I was sitting with her and her neighbors in the kitchen at the bird's nest, which is not a kitchen at all, but a large open air portico that functions as a community lounge. Strung with twinkle lights and dangling with ceiling fans and painted signs, like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. It's where the women gather to eat, chat, and play cards late into the night.
Mm.
Nearby, raised vegetable beds were bursting with zucchini. The mobile tiny houses, some encircled with sunflowers, resemble fairy tale abodes. This sounds nice.
Indeed.
Who made the decision to get rid of the birds? I asked. The others chimed in. In addition to making a mess, the birds were antagonizing the dogs and sometimes the people. We had a discussion, said Cheryl Huff firmly. She is a former first grade teacher, Urian's closest friend, and an original member of the bird's nest. There were rumblings, Urian conceded. She understood. Sometimes Turk slept in her lap, but her fondness for the bird was not shared by all. It's not just my house, you know? Well, yeah, making community sacrifices, right? Like for the better of everyone.
And as far as birds go, turkeys are quite a big one.
Yeah, they're massive. People underestimate how huge turkeys are.
I've been chased by a few.
Yeah, they're massive and scary. So I traveled to the bird's nest in mid July because I had been searching for real life examples of a fantasy I have had since my 20s. After child rearing and a career, my friends and I would buy a big house somewhere affordable and cohabitate the way we had done in college, cooking and laughing and hanging out, chipping in for accessibility ramps and health help as needed. Less considered were the lifestyle preferences of our then hypothetical partners. This fantasy, or versions of it, aging among female friends, is rampant among the women I know. It circulates on Facebook groups. We share news articles about this community in London, that one in France. Phil Levin, the founder of Live Near Friends, a Bay Area startup that facilitates group living, said half the inquiries he receives are from women over 50.
Yeah, and it's great that she points this out because I feel like my entire life, even from, middle school when, of
Mm-hmm.
course, I guess it's not as unusual to talk about that sort of thing, but even through now, I'll encounter women and say, "Oh yeah, I wish I could just get a house with all my friends or just
Yeah.
live in the same apartment, all my friends, we could hang out and everything would be great." But then they said, "But that's not very realistic." And I
But
say,
why
"Well,
not?
why not?" It's like it's just a choice you make, just
Mm-hmm.
like any other choice.
Yeah.
If you think it's not possible, it just means you're acknowledging that few women in particular are
Like prioritizing
yeah,
that.
are prioritizing that. You can always choose women every
Yep.
single time you can,
Yep.
um, but we just need to normalize that.
Yeah, I mean, the only real barrier I can see is like the availability of next door housing or
Yeah,
the affordability of land where you can have multiple housing, but like you can there's ways, you can do it.
yeah. It's like even if it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a roommate. Hey, friend,
Mhm.
what do you think about being housemates for the foreseeable future?"
Right, exactly. Buying a house together or renting a house together or, like getting a house that has a suited basement or, there's ways to do it if you really want to.
Mhm.
Saying it's not realistic seems like such a weird statement to me.
Yeah, and
Like,
I was
why is
actually
it?
yeah, and I was just having a conversation with someone or a lot of someone's, they're all saying, "Oh, well, yeah, it's always just kind of easiest if it's easiest to just get a boyfriend or a husband and then live with him." I'm like, "How is that easier?" Like, if you said, "Okay, tomorrow you need to go seek out a new living situation. How are you gonna do it?" My last answer would be find a husband. That's quite involved, is it not?
Yeah, I don't think that's the easiest,
Yeah,
um, nor safest
yeah,
or
the safest or any of
healthiest.
that, yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. What a very strange excuse. Looks like there's gonna be a photo here.
Mhm.
Tiny
Ooh,
houses on the property. Urian had the property zoned as an RV park and installed 14 10 by 30 foot concrete pads. Look at this polka dot one.
that's cool. Yeah, I feel like well, once I was in DC during what was apparently a house convention of some sort on the National Mall, and that was kind of my first exposure to this sort of thing. I don't know if those are technically called tiny houses. I think most of them were vendors looking for government contracts to provide housing in crisis areas. Like,
Mm,
let's say a town gets wiped out by a flood. Oh, we can install these houses for people to get by in the interim. But they did have some more elaborate, albeit tiny cabins that I guess people were buying and opening up campsites with. So I
mm.
said, "Oh wow, very petite, but I don't need that much space."
Yeah, definitely. Okay. The women of the bird's nest are not the richest of American women nor the poorest. They are retired from administrative and helping jobs: teacher, nanny, pricing specialist for a grocery store chain, data analyst, customer service agent, legal secretary, home health aide. Two were laid off at around age 60, cutting short their earning years. The wage gap between men and women, in which women earn on average 82 cents for every dollar earned by men and which widens with age, persists into retirement. According to the AARP, 64% of American women ages 50 to 64 who are not retired and not married have less than $50,000 in retirement savings, compared to 52% of men. Women's Social Security payout is, on average, 20% less than men's. Wow,
Mm,
that's crazy. I didn't realize that.
yeah.
Two lesbians, married, live at the bird's nest. One identifies as a tree hugger, as does one Republican gun owner,
Mm.
one Bible believing Christian conservative, and several women who call themselves military brats. They have been through a lot, but not any more or less than other women: cancer, infertility, addiction, mental health issues, domestic abuse. A few have grown children living nearby and enjoy hosting grandchild sleepovers, annual trips to Ireland, fishing vacations in Michigan. Other adult children live at an emotional distance, painful reminders of parenting regrets. The late
Mm.
night sessions in the kitchen often resemble free group therapy, observed Trish Erickson. That's such a weird way to spell Erickson.
Yeah.
One half of the married couple. The women disagree about a lot of things, especially politics. It's Texas. Inside their tiny homes, one woman may be writing postcards to swing states and another may be studying her Bible, but they have agreed not to argue about any of it in their common spaces. See, you can do it. It's
Yep.
good. We say we respect each other, Huff continues, but it's hard. They've made the choice to be in this together, which means that when Catherine Wickham falls off her deck while stomping down a styrofoam box, the others will drive her to urgent care. And when Huff has knee replacement surgery, maybe, are they missing a
Yeah.
word? Or a knee replacement, her neighbors will pick up pain medication and bring food to her door. We are at the age where a lot of things that we used to think were so important don't matter anymore, and we just let a lot go, Huff said.
Mm.
Oh no, Floor says, my partner and I live in an extremely isolated mobile home park for the time being, and the community is miserable. The male aggression and toxicity makes the atmosphere practically poisonous. I'm so sorry, Floor.
Wow.
You said for the time being. I hope that you too find your way to somewhere more healthy, less toxic. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Existential gamer Mux Erickson. All of the women agree that their first rule, unwritten yet strictly and collectively enforced, is the one Urian and Huff came up with at the beginning back in 2022. No drama. Or at least, not much. No one at the bird's nest gets their endorphins from stirring things up, said Huff. That's good.
Yeah.
Staying out of the nursing home. Oh, look at all their veggies.
Mhm.
Harvested from the community garden.
Mhm.
Urian would not attribute the founding of the bird's nest to any kind of vision. She's an act first, think later kind of person. When I think of vision, I think you have an intention. You write it down on paper. This community, she said, evolved from a group of hardworking women forced to meet a need, to live independently as long as possible with little to no financial cushion. My goal is really to keep people out of nursing homes, she told me. A 2019 study supports her hunch. Women with more social ties have a 10% longer lifespan and 41% higher odds of surviving to age 85 than women with fewer ties, regardless of their demographic characteristics or health conditions.
Makes sense.
Yes, and women who don't cohabitate with men also have higher lifespans.
Correct.
And women's happiness scale increases around age 85, which is around when their husbands start dying off.
Mhm. It's a win all around.
Yes,
Choose women.
exactly. Oh, look at this little,
Mhm.
so cute. Cheryl Huff watering the garden outside her home helped come up with the motto for the bird's nest: no drama. Aw.
Nice.
Yeah. Residents of the bird's nest talking about potentially divisive. Oh, avoid talking about potentially divisive topics like politics. Cheryl with her dog Lucy.
Mhm.
That's so cute.
Love the quilt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I wish I knew how to quilt sometimes. I've seen some
Mhm.
really beautiful ones. Maria, who would have thought life without men is better?
Breaking news.
Breaking. So Urian did not even start putting money into a 401k until she was 50. She had been a young stay at home mother dealing with a disastrous marriage before taking up a job at Clorox in Dallas, where she worked for more than 20 years. She bought a small house and earned a good living, but by age 60, she still could not comfortably retire. To preserve her independence into old age, she knew she had to reduce her expenses while also stretching her savings. As she watched an episode of Tiny House Nation a decade ago, Urian wondered whether going tiny, as the enthusiasts say, might address her long term affordability problem. On impulse, she attended a tiny home jamboree in Colorado Springs,
Oh,
and
the
after
whole thing, huh?
yeah, and after touring 5 tinies in a weekend, she was sold. 50 tinies, sorry,
Yeah.
tinies. That's cute.
Like, in terms of her, retirement fund situation, I think that's gonna get even more severe with future generations
I
because,
agree.
in the
Mhm.
past, if you got a job, it was expected you would stay there 20, 30, 40 years, and
Yep.
she only got a late start again because she had to do the stay-at-home mom thing,
Yep.
but, I know I've never worked for a corporate company. A lot of people I know just kind of do freelance. There's no
Mhm.
retirement fund in those jobs. There's no benefits. So,
Mhm.
yeah, in the future.
Yeah, I worked in nonprofit forever,
Mhm.
and there's nothing in those either.
Yeah.
I work for my provincial health authority now, um, so I'm doing a little bit better than I was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what? What AI generated slop? Okay. Hi, Lily. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Um, she bought her tiny home for $55,000 in 2017. It is customized to accommodate a full size oven, a sleeping loft, and an heirloom cabinet that holds her mother's stemware. Then Urian bought 5.5 unincorporated acres in Hopkins County, had the property zoned as an RV park, installed water, electric, and sewage lines, and 14 10 by 30-foot concrete pads. Her vision was taking shape. She would establish herself here, earning passive income by renting plots to fellow tiny homeowners. She sold her house and cashed out her 401k. She spent $150,000 on the bird's nest, everything she had.
Wow.
Their doggy. That's Kim on the left and her wife Trish. When Trish suggested to Kim that they move to the bird's nest from a historic Illinois town, she said, "You're flippin'
Mhm.
crazy."
Mm.
Uh, oh, the buyer's remorse set in almost immediately. When she visited her investment, she saw a scorched piece of ground so remote she couldn't even find someone to mow it.
Mm.
It would
Yeah.
just go ahead.
I'd say a lot of, I guess, even like the intentionally separatist women's land are also usually really in the middle of nowhere,
Mhm.
which is why, well, a primary reason why it would attract an older demographic because
Mhm.
if you're younger, you need to be close to something to work
Yeah.
and earn money and all that stuff.
Yep. Yep. Um, if she was really honest with herself, this place, 70 miles from Dallas, 20 miles from Sulphur Springs, with patchy cell service and little shade, was not anyone's retirement ideal. not even her own. But Yarian was out of options. She moved her tiny house to the bird's nest in late December 2021. Huff joined her, towing her own even tinier house to Yarian's plot. Initially, they had no internet and no postal address. It was like Little House on the Prairie, literally, Huff said.
Yeah.
That's cute. How did you spend your time? I asked Huff. Robin and I dug so many holes, she replied. Their idea was to create a sense of safety and enclosure on the land with planted barriers. They tried bamboo, they tried sky pencil hollies and crepe myrtles. But gardening here is a war, not a hobby, as Huff told me. Finally, they settled for a wood picket fence and stained it black.
Yeah. Hey, if it ain't broke.
Still, no one came. Huff watched her friend grow despondent, she said. She had a dream and it wasn't going to be that dream, and she had to adjust. The women only concept occurred to Yurian only after she hosted a woman's power tools skills workshop at the Bird's Nest.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Women traveled from other states and camped out in tents. We started talking around the fire pit, and I said, "What if I did this as an all women's community?" And it was unanimous. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Uh, Hi, Mariana. Hello, SW.
Mm.
Then the YouTube mini doc series Tiny Home Expedition posted a 23-minute video about the bird's nest. In it, Yarian gave a tour of the grounds, the storm shelter, the fire pit, Turk, talked about affordability, and described the bird's nest as a community of women empowering women. In some shots, she's wearing a Pro Row 1973 t shirt. What a badass. She looked straight at the camera, her hands in her back pockets. When there's a bunch of women together, you laugh. You don't care what you look like, you just exist. I
Correct.
know. Ugh. Her phone started ringing. Yay. This is Sherry Moore's home.
I gotta check out this tiny house TV show.
Yeah, it's called YouTube mini doc series Tiny Home Expedition. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Here we have Sherry Moore, who moved to the Bird's Nest in June 2024, doesn't want men in the community. If you're dating someone, they have a home, right? She said, you go there. Yes,
Exactly.
Sherry. Sherry. Oh my gosh, look at her kitchen with like look at all these plants hanging everywhere. I
A
love her.
master aesthetic.
No kidding. Ugh. I had been pondering a question. If so many women share my retirement fantasy, why don't more people act on it? That's
I
the
have the
question.
same question.
According to the AARP, more than half of Americans over 50 say they'd be willing to live with a friend. But by 65, more than a quarter of American women live alone. By 75, that number is 43%.
Yeah, my aunt, she lives in a well, they have like apartment complexes that are usually designated as 55 plus
Yep.
to live there.
Yep.
So she ended up in one of those, and they do also try to foster a similar sense of,
Oh,
"Hey, let's do activities, let's have a community," but I haven't seen any that are explicitly well, a few. I have seen a few that are women only, but most are not.
yeah, I don't think there's definitely no women only ones here. My grandmother, before she passed, lived in a seniors apartment complex. And so many of the other residents were single women too,
Yeah,
whose
'cause
husbands had died. And it's
the
like,
men die off sooner, so they
yeah,
effectively becoming are, like, mostly women, if not intentionally.
yes. From werewolf, not that. That's so
Almost
funny.
time for us to transform.
Hmm. A lot of people are soured on living with roommates that might be strangers too. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I
No money also, perhaps.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it always helps, like, for both the retirement communities and the community you're reading about here, notice that everyone does have their own single unit, so they can be
Mhm.
alone if they want, they can make their space how they want, but then there is also the option to socialize a
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
this
exactly.
situation.
Yep. Okay, Existential Gamer says, like, for me, this sounds really nice, but I need my space. I'd be afraid of being forced into an involved community situation, fair enough. If
Mm,
you're in like super introverted too, maybe it's not for you.
yeah.
Ooh, Floor says, I've been wanting to write more about living in a very male dominated, isolated mobile home park because it honestly really highlights all the things that would make female only ones so great. You should.
Do it.
And tell us where you're writing about it so we
Yeah.
can share.
Yeah.
Okay, so I called the co-housing eminence and architect Catherine McCament, McCament,
Mhm.
who has consulted on more than 50 co-housing communities. Retiring with friends is almost impossible, she said. She tried to reframe my fantasy. You don't want to retire with your existing friends, she said. Over a lifetime, these friendships grow out of sync. Friends get tied down to partners, children, parents, jobs, neighborhoods. They have different levels of financial ability and need. Far better, McCammon advised, for one or two strong willed people to articulate a vision, then recruit other like minded people to join them. That's a win win, she pointed out. The old fabulous friends retain their cherished status, and the new ones suit the current situation. That's what happened to Yarian. She has new instant friends, best friends at 65, she told me. I never saw these people before in my life, and now I can't imagine them not being here every day. At the bird's nest, we sat around in the kitchen in our sandals, the mood body and light. Within 1 hour, we were talking about men. Specifically, we were talking about the group's stance on men sleeping on the property overnight. This was a women's community, but did that exclude builders and delivery workers? Sons? Ex partners? App dates? Urian had started pondering the question after someone asked it on the Bird's Nest Facebook page. Are male friends allowed to stay the night? What happens if someone who is settled there wants to get married?
Mhm.
Urian had also regarded women only as a guideline rather than a hard and fast rule. They don't hate men, she repeatedly said. Many have beloved sons and grandsons. They just expect men to respect their autonomy, competence, and intelligence, Urian said, by which she means not boss them around, not instruct them on how to use power tools or balance the load in a truck. People frequently ask Urian, how are you going to survive without men? This rankles her. Me too.
Um,
There is no "you're doing it wrong" here, she wrote on the Bird's Nest website. We just try again until we accomplish the task. Yeah,
mhm.
this question, how are you going to survive without men? This question is always insane to me.
It is.
Uh, I do it just fine, thanks.
Yeah, you can learn skills
Hmm.
and work together.
Right. And when, so much of like liberal feminism talks about empowerment, and they really mean like capitulating to patriarchy. Whereas like learning a skill, teaching yourself how to like fix your dishwasher or, whatever it might be, that is actual empowerment because you are learning something new that you can now
Yeah.
do for yourself or even show other women how to do. Like,
Mhm. And, like, this stems back to my early theatrical participation drama where, I go in to sign up for tech crew, but at this point it's high school, so our theater program is combined with the nearby boys' school.
mm,
All the boys first day, they know everything about the power tools, they know what all the types of wood are, they know how to handle all these things.
yeah,
I go home to my parents saying like, "Oh my gosh, like this teacher doesn't wanna spend his time teaching me these things because the boys already know it, he just wants me to come in when it's time to start painting."
right.
And my dad said, "Well, boys are just kinda born knowing this stuff." I said, "No,
No.
they're not, they learned it in middle school shop class."
Yeah,
That's
or they were included in those activities with their dads where daughters were
Yeah,
not.
exactly, like, that's what happened. I know for a fact they have shop class because I asked, "How do you guys know all this stuff?" And
Mhm.
that just rankles me. It's not like only boys know how to hold a power drill. You
Right?
too can hold a power drill.
Right? It's like boy is when power tool.
Yeah.
Have
Uh,
mercy. Have mercy. Uh, Maria says, I recently saw a video of men complaining about traveling with women. We got a book, organize, pay, and protect. Women don't go nowhere without us. And I was like,
yeah.
wait, lesbians don't travel? Yeah,
Yeah, I
crazy.
feel like, at least with the men in my family, if we're doing any sort of road trip, I become the de facto manager of everything. Half because, yes, I do travel for a living, but then
Mhm.
also because they just don't think about details. They're just like, "Oh, yes, we'll just show up and everything will be fine." It's like, "No,
Everything will be
no.
done for us
Yes,
because that's how
everything
it's
will,
always been.
yeah, mysteriously be done for us." It's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, mysteriously, AKA the women do it." That's what's been
Mhm.
happening.
Yep.
Like, maybe you'll offer to carry a suitcase up 3 steps at the end.
Yeah. Have you seen there's been some videos going viral on TikTok lately of I don't know where it is, but there's a mime, like, with the makeup and the stripes,
Oh,
a
yeah, I
mime
did see one of those
who's,
videos.
like, stopping tourists where, like, the woman has, like, a backpack on and she's pushing a stroller and she's carrying a child on her hip, and,
Yeah,
like, the mime is, like, stopping them and, like, points at the man and, like, gives him the backpack and gives him the child, and I've just
yeah.
seen a ton of that, and it's like, yeah, why is he not helping literally at all? What the hell?
Mhm. It
Yeah.
reminds me of a time when I was a child in Paris. It must have not been long after those tube bombings in London.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2007-ish?
yeah, somewhere around there. Uh, I think I was with, like, my sister's backpack and my backpack sitting on a bench, but there was, like, a random bag next to me on the bench. So instead of relocating myself and the bags away from this mysterious bag, my dad just goes to the French police, and now I have all these French police officers with machine guns that are, like, approaching my
What
position.
the fuck?
Yeah. I'm like, "Yo, what?"
That is crazy.
And of course, this is at the Eiffel Tower, by the way. And,
Yeah.
like, my mom sees this happening from, like, across the plaza. It was a whole thing. I was like, "Really?" You
Oh
know?
my god. What were you doing in Paris as a child? Like, just
Uh
on vacation or on touring?
Yeah,
Like
they're just on vacation. We did the
aw.
Paris, London thing. I was mostly upset that day because, oh, yeah, it must have been maybe around 2005 'cause I was upset that we couldn't see Revenge of the Sith. It was a Star Wars movie that was in theaters still in France, and I wanted to see it in French.
That's cute.
Yeah, mad
Uh,
about that. Now I got these guys with machine guns
that's
as I'm holding all their bags.
crazy. What on earth? Oh my god. Wait. Alright, let's continue.
Yeah.
So, when she put sex and dating question to the group, she was shocked, she said. In the kitchen, she hooted with laughter as she recollected the conversation they'd had the night before over cards. She is open to the notion of companionship and sex, at least occasionally, and imagined the others would be too. But they all said no. No way. No men overnight, ever, for any reason. Woo, ladies! That's
Congrats.
awesome. I'm so
Mm.
glad they were all unanimously uh on that side.
Mhm.
Damn.
It's not worth it.
No, exactly. If you're dating somebody, they have a home, right? You go there. If you need to get laid, go, said Sherry Moore, who moved to the Bird's Nest from Dallas in June 2024. Group laughter erupted. Huff joined in. All our houses are on wheels, she said. If someone wants to live with a man, there are other places to go. She waved at the infinite space beyond their fence. Ah, I
Exactly, and,
love.
offer all the younger women in the chat, don't be afraid to draw these boundaries with your various roommate situations
Yes.
either.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, today I just saw a thing on Reddit. It was on like I think it was on the Bad Roommates sub. Um and it was about these three young gals who lived together. They were like 18, 20, and 21 or something. And the 20 and 21-year-olds were hard and fast, no boys allowed over. And the 18-year-old was consistently bringing multiple boys over all the time.
Mm,
And it's like, yeah, if you're a younger woman and you're living with roommates and that kind of, what you do when you're in your 20s, you can draw those hard and fast boundaries. Like you could say that you have that boundary. You're not going to live with women who allow men over or whatever.
mm,
Um, it's actually something I have recently dealt with because I own my home. Um, and I have a friend who is going to be moving in with me. I have lived alone for the last 5 years, but I have a friend who's moving in. She is bisexual. And I told her straight up, men are not allowed in my home. No boyfriends, no hookups, no Tinder dates. They're not allowed in my home at all.
Mhm.
Um, so consider that if you are wanting to still move in with me. And she was totally respectful and fine with that, which is awesome. But yeah, like that is a boundary that I do have in my life. I don't allow men in my home. Um, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no.
Here it
I'm
comes.
just gonna mute. Sorry. um, my father is allowed in my home. Um, and if there's no like female service person available, then like I would have like a male plumber or whatever, you know. Um, but my preference, of course, would always be to hire women. And that's part of also my separatist beliefs, right? Is like patronizing female businesses. So
Correct.
I would always look for a female handy person, handy woman, or, you know, a female painter or a female plumber or whatever.
Mhm.
But as far as like, yeah, boyfriends and stuff, no, it's not happening.
Yep, 'cause
So you can
go
have that boundary. You can. You can say no men allowed.
Yep, don't be shy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, for the times in my 20s when I wasn't living in a convent, that was always my rule, like, I've it's usually been a situation where I'm the one getting the apartment, and then it just so happens a friend at around the time or at around the same time is
Yep.
in a dicey situation, needs to move in. I say, "Again, we can move in. Only rule, no dudes in the house."
Mhm. Yep.
And, yeah, it's always been very successful.
Mhm. Yep. You're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, floor. Yes, exactly. It's absolutely crazy the way the tone changes with their men presence. I've been in a room of all girls and felt the air physically change when a boy or man walked in. Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so the laughing petered out. Obviously, there are safety concerns. It would be impossible to vet every man who wanted to stay the night. But also, men change the tone, as we as Flora
Yeah.
mentioned. That's what Urian tells them when they call to inquire about living there. Ooh, men call. Ew.
Ew.
Of course they do, though. Of course they do, right? Why wouldn't the man call to see if he can live there?
Yes.
Because men can't stand women having literally anything.
Yep, let's find the tiny remote RV park in the middle of nowhere just so we can bother women. That's what they're doing.
Hmm. Exactly. Why is this not working for me?
Mhm.
Just replying to Maria.
Oh.
Um, okay, men change the tone. Uh, that okay, yes. When men enter a group, women stop talking intimately and about certain things, Huff said. Like what? I asked. That you pee when you sneeze, Huff responded. Women of a certain age, that's a thing that can and may happen to you. The laughter in the kitchen flared again. They can talk about menopause and childbirth, they said. They can choose not to wear a bra. Moore declared that after a lifetime of relationships, she's not ruling men out. She's just not that interested. I don't need to date anymore, she said to the group. I'm 65 years old and I've had all the best sex I'm going to have. It's not going to get better than that. Uh, thanks, Maria. How are you reading the article and chat and replying at the same time? I'm trying my best.
Radical's a Jedi.
Uh, maybe. I'm trying. Okay, the candidate interview. Ooh, oh, look at these mosaics that they're working on. Ah, the women of the bird's nest working on mosaics to use as address numbers for their homes.
Ooh, yo, I'll be all on that.
That is so cute. Look, there's a 9 there, and I'm guessing this is a 7. Aw, that's so pretty. Uh, Katrina Wortham is the latest resident of the bird's nest. She arrived after the 4th of July weekend after being laid off at 61 from her job of 38 years. These
Mm.
corporations do not care about you at all.
Nope.
God, 38 years. In 2020, she was transferred from Memphis to Dallas. Her second husband didn't move with her, and Wortham said she read the writing on the wall. They are
Dang.
now divorced.
Good for her.
Yep. She had been saving for retirement since she was young and thought, I'm not willing to share that with anybody at this stage in my life. I've worked 38 years for it. It's mine.
Mhm.
Yes, queen. Wortham was subjected to the bird's nest interview process, which has evolved over time into an hours long group share. Urian and her neighbors interview each new candidate for fit, assessing them for self sufficiency and resourcefulness. As a community, they are interdependent, but each member stands on her own. I can't take in desperate people, Urian told me. That means that I've got to fill some kind of niche for them that I'm not willing to. That's fair enough.
Mhm. Yeah.
Good boundaries.
Mhm.
As Wortham was speaking to Urian in the kitchen, she was overwhelmed to see all the other women emerging from their tiny homes en masse with their dogs to join them. Number two unofficial rule at the bird's nest: you must like dogs. Whee!
I can't live there.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not a dog gal.
I say I used to be actively afraid of dogs. Now I'm better. Still not like, ooh, that's cuddle, but I might not run away screaming if the dog comes.
Okay. I love dogs. Wortham told the group how alone she had been in Dallas. I lived in that apartment for 5 years and probably only met a neighbor the last year and a half, she told me by phone. So she was more than ready for the camaraderie of the bird's nest, she said. She has put a deposit on a deluxe tiny home, 10 feet wide, with ample custom built ins for her crafting supplies. Yes, queen. Which will cost her $150,000, and sees it as a chance finally to get what exactly she wants in life: a brand new, mortgage free, forever home that won't need constant maintenance and cleaning. When she told her brother about the interview experience, he warned her, "Watch out, it could be a cult." Ugh, yeah, men can't imagine it being something nice and wonderful.
Yeah. When it's a group of women together, something's fishy going on. It's like they
Mhm.
must be witches. It
The
must be
devil's
cults.
sacrament.
Yes.
These neighbors can be chatty, and Wortham is accustomed to her solitude, so she was relieved to learn about unofficial rule number three. If you're in your house, they leave you alone. But if you are outside, you're fair game, she reiterated, and it's turned out that way so far. Conflict over cats.
Cats. Drama.
Aw. Trish Erickson affixing a bird feeder to the bird's nest fence.
Mhm.
Conflict over cats. Interesting. When Trish Erickson suggested to her wife Kim that they move to the bird's nest from a historic town in northern Illinois, Kim said, "You're flippin' crazy. The heat, the isolation, it all takes getting used to, as do the interpersonal dynamics. The electric front gate is a source of perpetual tension. For safety reasons, Urian is a stickler about keeping it closed, as she put it, but each of the other residents can open it with her own clicker. When through miscommunication strangers find their way onto the property, or when the dogs are at risk of escaping, Urian can come unglued, as Huff said, and sensitive members of the village can feel her frustration. Recycling is a sore point. Nobody wants to recycle, Urian told me, as are the four resident cats. They must stay indoors, another unofficial rule of the bird's nest. Otherwise, they use people's gardens as a litter box. But as much as Urian reminds certain cat owners of this, the cats still prowl, and other residents object, primarily Huff, the main gardener. In the past, she has confronted the offending owner, even threatening to take action against the cat.
What?
As Huff explains it in the kitchen, this is what no drama means: no whisper campaigns, no sulking or stewing. A resident with an interpersonal problem has two choices: tolerate it or address it. If I go to somebody and say, "We need to work something out so I'm not upset about it," then we will work something out. Everybody here would at least attempt to make me happy, like I would do for them, she said. The cat owner bought a screened in porch for her cats, a catio, and Huff was grateful for her consideration.
That's
This
nice.
sounds nice, right?
Mm. Screened in porch is where it's at. I don't like them mosquitoes.
No kidding. In the kitchen, Urian looks around at what she's built with something like joy and bewilderment. The women have prepared a medley of summer salads and homemade zucchini bread for lunch and are sitting with paper plates in our laps. "You've unintentionally created an intentional community," said Kim Erickson to Urian. In conversations after my visit, Urian described the burden she feels. These women have moved from all over the country to settle here, and she feels responsible for their happiness. Huff and Urian frequently discuss Urian's role. Is she a landlord charging $450 a month for a concrete pad, water, and septic? Or is she more of a counselor, a guide, a hostess, as Huff would say? Urine, here's the logic of Huff's position. The tenants are paying for their spot and utilities, not the sense of belonging. But it's the belonging that matters to Urian, so she makes the rounds every day, tending to everyone, to Wickham, who's more solitary, and Wortham, who's new. She surveys the crowd, who wants to go berry picking, to Walmart, to IHOP, who would enjoy an above ground pool, where will they build the new chicken coop. Urian sat with one leg tucked under her, her tattooed fingers around a water bottle that said, "Love, not war." Nothing against any of you guys, she said contemplatively, but sometimes I think, now that it's all kind of come together, okay, now what? She continued, "Am I going to do this forever? Is this what I've got?" In chorus, the women answered, "It better be,"
Mhm.
and
Yes.
yes.
Mm,
Oh,
that's very
that
nice.
sounds so lovely.
Yeah.
What's the bird's nest? I'm gonna look for their website.
Wow.
Uh, it's all just books by Shirley Jackson on Google.
Oh. Yeah, but I feel like when it comes, if I ever mention to people, I say, "Oh, I was in this girls only or women's only place," a very common reaction is, first of all, disgust, and then, "Oh my gosh, it must have been so horrible. There must have been so much drama." I
What?
say, I'm like, no, we were all just kind of living our lives. The drama didn't start until the boys got in the mix."
Right. That's crazy. Um, Community and belonging are the most important things to me, in theory, anyway. It's crazy that they can matter so little to some people. Yeah.
Mhm,
This is the bird's nest,
mhm,
tiny house and RV community. Look at them all their little tiny
mhm.
houses.
Yeah,
So cute. This one with the porch is really sweet.
yeah. And it's like, again, so many women talk about this, but I do think it might be just sort of the, I don't know, the economic situation of the future where you will start to see more of this kind of thing. Even if it's not, women only specifically, but uh, living arrangements that are not a nuclear family living in a single home in the suburbs.
Mhm. Mhm. Totally. In Cumbie, Texas, or is it Cumbi? I don't know. 30 minutes to Canton with the world's largest flea market.
Hey.
Great selling point. That's so cute. You'll be happy here if you're looking for long-term stay, affordable living, country living, fun, community, place you can see yourself retiring to, wanting a support system. Aw.
Mhm.
Physical, mental wellness, entertainment. Oh, so sweet. Tiny house parking, RV parking. Only $450 a month. Can you imagine? Can you
Yeah.
imagine? That Oh my god, that's not even a oh, that's yeah.
Mhm.
Just thinking about the, monthly expenses I have in life and like
Yeah.
$450.
I think it's also great they mentioned in the article, yeah, all the women here don't share the same politics, they don't all have the same background, but they do agree that they are going to live in this space where there will be no men. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I think that's what matters most. Obviously, I see tons of conversations about separatism go down, and then it turns into, well, what about this type of women, and what if they have this special situation and there's a man involved, we need to not exclude anyone. It's like, no, this is an exclusive space. It is for people looking for a specific thing. And if that's not what you're looking for, you can live literally anywhere else. So
Yep. Yep, yep. Exactly. Ooh, LV says in the latest issue of Lesbian Connection, a reader put out a call for other lesbians to potentially co-buy a duplex, triplex, or small apartment with her in Portland. Oh, that's so cool. Lesbian Connection always has like a yearly, in one of their editions every year, they do like a list of all of the women's only living communities.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Um, yeah. And they also do in at Lesbian Connection, they do a section every year called Contact Dykes, which is women from around the world who provide their information saying they're willing to either, host traveling women or show them around town or whatever. So like there's like just pages upon pages of women who have offered up their contact information to be a contact person from various cities around the world. It's so sweet.
Indeed.
If I was going to say if you're a lesbian, but I guess if you're anyone, you could subscribe to Lesbian Connection. But
Oh,
it is all about lesbians. It's a very long running lesbian magazine, print or digital. They mail it out, I think, 5 or 6 times a year.
ooh.
It's really nice. Yeah. Let's see. What are the chats saying here? Lamb says TikTok lesbian community wouldn't even want to live here. They're always bringing men into this somehow. Yeah.
Really? I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It's all like, you know, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Aw. Um, you can definitely get in touch with Lesbian Connection and ask for like their contact dykes listings or even like a back issue that would have it in it. Um, I signed up to be a contact dyke, but like nobody comes to where I live. Like, it would never happen. So, but I did do it. Yeah, it is very cool to read about places like this. Actually, when I posted in one of the discords I'm in that we were streaming about this topic tonight, somebody had asked, like, wait, places like this really exist? And I was
They
like, yeah,
do.
there are places like this quite literally all over the world
Mhm.
um, that you can visit.
Yeah, if you like, even just more generally, I believe they use the term in the article intentional communities. I
Yeah,
think there are like whole websites that just list all these different intentional communities, where they're located, what they're about, um, all
yeah,
that sort of thing. It does usually involve buying property rather than renting. So I know in this situation, yeah, they pay rent for the plot of land, but they do have
yeah,
to buy a house to put on it.
yeah.
Um, and then kind of in my travels, I lived more in women's residences where there are rentals, but those usually uh, there's usually certain requirements for living there. Sometimes they have age limits, sometimes they have length of stay limits
Mm,
that exist and then not exist depending on who owns the place, which can be kind of frustrating.
right.
But they're usually more in urban areas, which is better for people still
Yeah,
on the job hunt and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, one I'm familiar with is the Wee Moon Land in Oregon. Wee Moon Land. Um, Actually, somebody I know pretty well lives there, and it's women only land. Um, you can go and just camp if you want for a few nights. They do monthly events. Um, you can live there permanently. I mean, I'm sure it's the same as the Bird's Nest where you have to like interview and apply to live there, but these places do exist. And even if it's not like what was the term about what's the term?
Intentional
Intentional
community.
community,
Yeah.
right, thank you. Even if it's not intentional community, there are also women's lands or spaces that do like events. Like there's the Michigan Family Reunion. There's events on the Mishfest land all throughout the summer, and the land is open to women for day visits all throughout the fall and winter too. Um,
Mhm.
there's the Pacific Northwest Lesbian Gathering, which is actually happening next weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, next weekend. S there's so yeah, there are events, there are things that there's the Philia, conference in October in Europe. Like, there are places and spaces for us, but you gotta look for them.
not from because a lot don't advertise too heavily because if you do, then you'll get all
Yeah.
sorts of people popping out of the woodwork that shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
Um,
Europea I mean, Maria Europea, I was trying to say
yeah.
Europe and Maria. Maria asked if there are any in women and you're oh my god.
Are there any
I give
women in
up.
Europe radical?
I
Are
give
there?
up on trying to speak the English language. My god. Um, if there's any in Europe, women's lands, I'm sure there definitely is.
Mhm.
uh, we need that lesbian connection edition because
Yeah.
there were so many on there.
Mm. And always what I do, again, I'm all about planting seeds into the minds of all my friends. I always mention
Mhm.
it. I say, "Hey, if it doesn't work out with Bob, you're always welcome to stay here. Like there will be a future.
Mhm.
It's not Bob or bust. You're just leaving those options open."
Oh god, I just googled about women's land and there's a Reddit thread and someone posted about Wee Moon and then
Mhm.
someone replied, "I expect they're just turfs."
Ah. They
Uh,
use that word so much it doesn't even mean anything
no,
anymore.
it literally
Mm,
it literally doesn't.
yeah. But if any of y'all are finishing up college in the US or something like that, you want to give it a go in the big city. I know both the women's residences in Boston that I know about have since closed. I think that's the sad thing. They're dying off recently.
Hmm,
But there's still places like St. Agnes Residence in New York,
yeah,
Webster Apartments also in New York. In DC, there's Thompson Markward Hall. That's really great, as long as the Centro Maria Residence. And it's usually prime locations in the city targeted to younger women who are just, need to
yeah,
get their foot in the door in these otherwise very high priced housing markets.
yeah. There is one in Paris called Baba Yaga's house.
Ooh.
It says the building houses 25 self-contained flats. I'm just looking on Google, but there's lots of like intentional communities, but they don't necessarily say it's women. It's just so
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like a way to filter out. Anyway, but yeah, there are places around the world.
It's time for me to return to Paris, my triumphant return.
Oh, Lily. Maybe if I left my house for something other than work or the gym, I'd meet other lesbians. Hey, Lily, I sent you on Instagram a thing of lesbian events in your city, so that's on you.
Mhm. Mm.
TERF is a woman who loves other women and wants companionship with their own kind, I guess, right?
Yeah, that or a TERP is really any woman with any type of boundary these days.
Yeah. Ooh, a radiated woman, hello. She writes, Gendies be like, TERFs go home. But when women do just hang out and make a home amongst themselves, they hate that too.
Yeah, it's like, how dare those TERPs hang out at home,
Right.
oppressing us from
Not
the
like
living
that.
room.
Oi. Oi, oi, oi.
Mhm.
Uh, the the carnival, the fairs in town this weekend,
Oh.
and my mother is texting me asking if I can go tomorrow because it's free before 3. And I'm like, "I have a job. Like what? No, I cannot go."
You gotta get that early bird funnel cake. Do they do funnel cake in Canada? Is that a
Oh, yes,
thing?
of
Okay, cool.
course. Yeah. Like, I just there's also like I see on the internet on TikTok all the time, like trends of like retired parents like asking like, "Oh, do you want to go to Target this afternoon?" And
Yeah.
like no, I have a job. What are you talking about? I'm not going I cannot go to the fair before 3 o'clock. Like,
Yeah, I always feel bad when I'm at home and my grandmother will find out and she'll be like at 1 p.m. Hey, you want to go to Acme? It's like, I mean, technically, I am not physically in a workplace, but I am working, and I did just get back from a 6 month trip yesterday. So maybe give me a 24-hour heads up at least.
yeah, right? Like, jeez. These retired parents just think that everything is as they want it all the time. It's not how life
Mhm.
works.
um, well, in regards to, I guess, women's communities in general, I told you how a lot of people react negatively when
Mhm.
I talk about these places. And I do think that if you've never been without men, interrupting everything, it
Mm.
might be hard to conceive of men not being there. But from my perspective, where men weren't there for the first several years of my life, it was them entering into the environment. I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I would rather things go back to where they used to be. And when I do end up in these women's residences, I find that many of those women have similar experiences. So that's all to say. Now I'm preaching to the choir here, but don't knock until you try it. Um, Being around other women is actually very normal and low key and not a big deal at all, really.
Mhm.
Mm. Keep pitching it as an option to save your friends from marrying males.
Yep. Yep. Floor. You've heard of men dressing as women to invade their spaces. Now get ready for me dressing as a grandma to get into the women-only co-housing.
Hello, fellow senior citizens.
How do you do? Very good, very good.
Time for crafts.
Aw. Oh, Lamb, I'm starting to think my calling is America at this point because why is everything I want over there? Trail rides and nature, but Trump, ugh.
Hey, Trump is temporary, trail rides are forever.
Trail rides and nature are extremely prevalent in Canada, just saying.
Yeah,
And we've elected liberal governments for many years in a row, so
indeed. You will still find the crazies in Alberta, but they don't run the place. They're
no,
just
they
meant to be crazy in peace.
our Alberta government are absolutely crazies.
Oh, no.
Like extreme crazies. Like we call them maple megas,
Mhm. Mm.
but Alberta is very beautiful.
Mhm. Yes, I
We're
will say
pretty lucky.
I really did not expect to go to Canada running into Canadians that really wanted to be the 51st state. I said, "Really?
Ugh.
You
Yeah, it's a
sure?
thing.
What do you want? Better Walmarts?" That's what I realized in Canada. The Walmarts are not good.
Yeah, oh my god, I see so many videos online about, like, American Walmarts, and they're like and all the stuff that people buy there, and I'm like, "What the hell? That's so
Yeah.
crazy." We don't
It
have that.
Yeah, instead, like, our local, like, runner person will come back and with anything you could think of, and I said, "Oh, where did you get that?" He's like, "Canadian Tire." I said, "What?"
Oh, my beloved
I said,
Canadian Tire.
What how did you get this at a tire shop?" Like, "It's not just
It's
a
not,
tire
but
shop."
it's impossible to describe what Canadian Tire is. It is so impossible. It's an experience, you have to experience it. Um, you
I
can
did
buy
not go
tires there, but you can also buy snacks
Yeah.
or appliances or camping gear or light fixtures or cleaning tools or, like, auto part like, you just cannot you have to experience Canadian Tire, but it is a magical place.
Indeed. I did not get a chance to go inside one myself, but I would just have people come at the venue with all receipts from Canadian Tire.
It's the best place, man. It is the best. And also, it doesn't matter what city, what province, if you go to a Canadian Tire, they all smell the same. Like, you just know the Canadian Tire smell. Oh, it's great.
Do they all have the same layout? Because that's my gripe between Target and Walmart in the US. More so, Targets will always be formatted the same way, unless they're like an abnormally small building or are like a neighborhood Target that just has produce or something. But
I've never been to a Target. We don't have them
oh
here.
yeah, but Walmart's, you never know what you're gonna get. So I feel like I've spent an abnormal amount of time being lost in different Walmarts because nothing's ever in the same place.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, Stinky's been to Victoria. That's one of my favorite cities. My sister lives there. It's beautiful. I go out there once a year to visit her on Vancouver Island.
yes, Vancouver Island. I hear so much from people about Vancouver Island, but
It's wonderful. It's also like Vancouver Island is one of the top 10 biggest islands in the world.
oh, so it's not. I guess the few islands I have been to, they must be very tiny because I'm just thinking, What are all these cars doing here? We do not have space for all these cars. Everyone, please drive your cars into the ocean. That was the thing I thought in Martha's Vineyard and in Key West. I said we can't have these automobiles here.
Yeah.
Ride bikes, please.
Yeah. No kidding. Let's see here. Has anyone read Ducks by Kate Beaton? It's an autobiography by a Canadian woman and has very strong feminist themes. I haven't. I've not heard of it. I should look into that.
Yeah. That reminds me, I never bought those Andrea Dorkin book reprints. I feel like every time I'm home, I'm thinking I should buy that, but then I'm about to leave. And I say, well, I'm about to leave. I'll buy it when I get back.
Ugh, I bought them all the day that they went into reprint.
Maybe I'll look up the link and send it to my parents' house and gift them to myself for Christmas.
Very good. Very good. Ooh, expired milk. Do you have a dream destination?
Dream destination. I mean, I do want to go to Japan at some point just to
Yeah.
check it out. I spent a lot of years learning Japanese, and when I went
Mm.
to Korea, I was so stressed and hungry. All I could recall was Japanese because well, I learned Japanese while I was stressed and hungry. I would love to go to Ireland.
Me too.
As
Me too.
I used to just well before Google Maps, children, there was Google Earth, and
I loved Google Earth.
yes, I would spend so much time just quote walking unquote around
Mhm.
Ireland and also Yokohama in Japan. I think I had this idea that I'd join the yakuza and I'd open a bubble tea shop, but it would just be a front for criminal activity anyway. So yeah, Ireland and Japan are definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Ireland as well,
Mhm.
and Scotland. That's where a
Yeah.
significant portion of my ancestry is from, um, up
Mhm.
in Inverness, in the very tippity top north of Scotland.
Ooh.
So I've really always wanted to go. Um, and let's see, where else would I really love to go? I am somebody who definitely would travel pretty much anywhere, but I also don't necessarily feel like I'm itching to specifically go somewhere. Um, but yeah, I would go pretty much anywhere-ish, reasonably so.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like if I were in the UK, because most of Star Wars is filmed over there,
mhm.
so I just be like, let me go to the Star Wars place. Let me go find Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Scottish.
Marie asks, the Netherlands, anyone? Yeah, I definitely would love to go to the Netherlands too,
Yeah.
especially because like Canada and the Netherlands have a very special relationship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during World War II, it was the Canadian soldiers that liberated the Netherlands from Germany. And so
Oh.
there's always been like a very special relationship. And to this day, the Netherlands sends a significant amount of tulips to Canada every year uh, as a thank you.
How sweet.
Yeah, so I've definitely always thought the Netherlands would be lovely to go to. And as well, especially where I live in Canada, there's a significant Dutch population. So yeah, I have an affinity for the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I will say there are places in the world where I'm super not bothered about ever going, and I really don't care. Like I just have no desire to go to London. I know
Uh,
that's like a big one for so many people is going to London, but I don't care. I
yeah.
would go if someone else was paying, I'll go, but I just don't care to go.
Yeah.
I also really don't have any desire to go to France. Um,
Mm,
again, I would, but not on my own dime. I just don't care.
yeah.
I'm also not really that bothered about Italy.
Yeah, I used to have big dreams about going to Florence, Italy in
Ah,
particular. I'm
yes.
not sure why I was fixated on Florence, but I've had a few chances where I could have gone, but each time I just said no for, various reasons. And these days I'm not as interested in general anymore in Italy, but
Yeah.
who knows? I'd love to, well, I love the thought of sneaking into places. I would love
Mhm.
to infiltrate the Vatican.
Yeah.
just rappel in and I don't
Mhm.
know, take a selfie saying, "Look, I've stuck into the Vatican. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Goodbye."
I'm also really interested in, like, Eastern Europe. Again, another significant portion of my ancestry is Hungarian, Romanian, Slovakian, that kind of area. So I think it would be cool to see some of those places, Czechia, etc. Um, and then Japan would be super cool. I would love to go to Japan. I almost got to go to Japan on a student exchange, but it was the year that September 11th happened, and that grounded us.
Yeah.
Um,
My parents, or more like my mother, recently decided we were all from Ghana. Um,
oh,
yeah, I think they all did those whatever DNA tests, and
oh,
yeah, apparently it was equal parts Ghana, equal parts Nigeria, but she just likes Ghana better, so she's like, "We're from Ghana." I said, "Okay, mom, whatever you say." So
cute,
so she's trying to arrange a trip out there.
cool.
And I'm like, "Okay, I'm all for cultural exchange, but just remember, it's not like you're gonna get off the plane, they'll be like, 'Welcome
Welcome to the
back.'"
homeland. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's lots of places in Africa I would love to go to as well. Um, I'm not super bothered about South America. Again, I would, but meh.
Yep. I've been all over South America for work.
Yeah, one of my friends has traveled all over South America and is obsessed, but I don't know. I would, but all right. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, I would also, if I ever had the time and the money, I would go to every Formula One race on the calendar.
Oh, me too. That oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. My dream to go and follow the whole calendar, all
Yeah.
24 races. Ah!
My ears would just not be working at the end, be like, "Ah."
Oh, yeah, the dream. I would love well, the next race actually is one of my dream races, which is Zandvoort in the Netherlands.
Yep, yep, always an exciting one.
Oh my god. That's, the next race. Next weekend, I'm so excited. It's been a
Mhm.
month summer break, and finally we'll be back next weekend. Woohoo!
Yeah, I can't tell if I've just been busy and not checking the news, but I feel like there hasn't been as much of a silly season, going on with Formula
No,
One.
there has been no silly season at all. I love how the chat is not gonna know anything at all of what we mean. Not whatsoever. There's been no silly season, however, I did hear that Cadillac has officially signed contracts with 2 drivers. Very
Mhm.
likely it's Bottas and Perez. Um,
Okay, I'm not mad about that.
no, me neither. It's not been announced, but very likely that's who it's gonna be, and that makes sense with a new team wanting very experienced drivers, so
And are they next season or the season after next season?
it'll
For the
be next year, 2026, so
Oh
in
boy,
February.
how exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Ah,
2 more cars equals 2 more cars worth of drama.
mhm. It'll be so weird having 22 drivers now, 11 teams.
Oh, which means Haas can score even lower on the grid next year.
Yeah. Man, they were doing so good last season with Hulk and
Yeah,
Magnussen. Um,
literally, they were the dream duo. I was
yeah,
heartbroken
me
when
too. And my best friend, her special blorbo is Hulk. Um, so yeah, but, they're not doing too bad with Ocon and Behrman this season.
Yeah, they've
Nobody
had their moments.
no one cares about this.
We're just talk about speedy race cars.
Mhm.
It's, you can check it out. There was a Formula One movie that Radical didn't see, but I saw it.
Yeah, I don't wanna see it.
It
Um,
honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it didn't make any sense from a Formula One perspective, but it was definitely
mhm.
dramatic.
Yeah, but yeah, should be good. But, Hulk is doing really good in stake this season.
Yes, yes.
Scored points. He won a race or not won a race,
He
podiumed in a
got
race.
podium. Yes, very, very
Yay!
proud.
Mhm.
Yep. And like, if I had the money to buy merch for more than one F1 team, I would buy his merch. I would get the Cadillac merch as is new, but
Ooh,
alas.
ooh, okay, so let women speak.
Hey guys, Feminism is women making choices. We're choosing to talk about cars.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so Hulkenberg is my best friend's very special Blorbo, but he has no merchandise on his website. None. Not a
Ah!
single thing. So I have, for her birthday next month, I have custom, what's the word when you ask somebody to make you something? Oh my God. Commissioned.
Commission.
I have commissioned Nico Hulkenberg merch for her birthday. And I like spec'd the design and everything, and I was so excited to give it to her.
That's sweet.
Listening to this incomprehensible car talk as praxis. Oh, I love all of you. You're so funny.
But yeah, hey, if you're a traveler, following the F1 calendar is a great starting point.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Mhm.
Yes, bespoke merch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kind of like I got a custom Funko Pop of my favorite Star Wars character.
Oh, cute. How did you get that? Like, you can
Um,
order them or what?
yeah, well, I guess there's just like 10 other people online who also stand this character, and one of them likes to do art. So she was
Aw,
like, "Hey, look, I'm making custom Funkos of Eli Vanto. Do you want one?" I said, "Yes, I do."
that's so cool. And which character was it? Sorry?
Eli Vanto
Eli.
appears in a grand total of 2 books, um, but is my spirit animal. He's
He's your
the
Blurbo?
Yeah, logistics and supply officer for the Empire, has
Mm.
whole pages of internal monologues about people messing with his spreadsheets and how it's really throwing off. I was like,
This
"Oh my god, me
I
too."
am understanding. I am understanding.
Mhm. Gets pulled on all these wacky adventures by eccentric people, which I'm like, "I can relate. I can relate. I've This would be me in a Star War. I have found it."
Yeah, literally, that's what I mean, I'm understanding. Handcrafted artisanal Blorbo artifacts.
Oh, yes. Have you seen this man? Because he has not appeared in canon in, like, 6 years.
That's so funny.
Don't know, last time we checked, it was in the Chiss Ascendancy where a civil war was about to start. We've gotten no update on the civil war. Could be dead, we really don't know.
That's so funny. That's what they say, like, about fandom, though, like, you don't pick your Blorbo, they just imprint on you, and that's who you're
Yeah.
stuck with.
Mhm. But the thing about Star Wars is the story will continue, and you just gotta be on the lookout for when your special Glupshido will appear.
That's my Blorbo. Amazing.
Indeed.
Four-time world champion!
Won't be getting a 5th one this year.
He will not. He will not.
I
Hopefully,
actually
though,
haven't
it's Oscar Piastri, though. Well,
Yeah, I haven't I feel like he's been winning more, hasn't he, than Lando?
he's won twice this season, and he's podiumed multiple times, but the last
Mhm.
couple races have been an extreme struggle. Okay, shush, Ducky. Good night, Maria. Thanks for joining.
Good night.
Yeah, no, he's been struggling this season, but that's okay. At least, hopefully, it'll be Oscar Piastri because I will have to genuinely throw myself from a cliff if it's Lando Norris.
I'll send you some bespoke Lando merch
I
if he
cannot live in a world where
wins.
Lando Norris is world champion. I can't.
Send you a Lando Norris pillow with a bedazzled Lando Norris pillow.
Oh, awful. I'll have to use it like a voodoo doll pincushion.
Yeah. Well, actually, on my last adventure, I ended up on a go-karting track.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and we bought the pro tickets. Now, it said pro. I don't think these go-karts were going fast enough to be considered pro, but we did have to put on helmets, and you didn't even need a driver's license. I think they didn't go up at more than 30 miles an hour. But at first, I was trying to be really careful on the turns because I watch F1. I can't be
Mhm.
messing up on my turns in front of all these
Gotta hit
people.
the apex.
Yeah, but no, I could just go full steam ahead through the corners as long as I turned enough and the car was
Mhm.
not showing any signs of flipping over. I said, "All right, here we go." And it worked at least for 10 laps, but that's all I got. So,
That's good.
yeah.
That's fun.
I'm gonna join F1 Academy now. I'm ready.
Yeah, definitely. Um, F1 Academy is the women's league of motorsport racing. But there is genuinely no reason that a woman couldn't be in F1, and a woman has
Exactly.
been in F1 in the past. There have been 4 female F1 drivers.
Yeah,
Um
but it's like similar to, you know, power tools.
mhm.
Just
Yeah, exactly.
people like parents in particular are more likely to invest in their sons getting the special go-kart lessons and the blah 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 and
Yep.
sponsors and teams. It's a whole system. So
Yep. Um, I would love to see another woman signed into Formula 1 though. I really would, obviously. Um, there was talk that it might be Bianca Bustamante who races for McLaren,
Mhm.
but I don't know. She certainly wouldn't be signed into the McLaren team anytime soon.
Yeah.
Uh, because the McLaren men's team anyway, because men's, I mean,
There's
it's not a gendered sport, like, it's not,
yeah,
but, you
it's
know.
like you just need to sit in the car, drive.
Yeah. Um, but yeah.
Mm.
Aston Martin has a female reserve driver, Jessica
Okay.
Hawkins.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, are there even any reserve drivers who are women or like in I know Red Bull has their little academy system, but I don't
Mhm.
know if there are women in that.
Yeah, Aston Martin has a female, Jessica Hawkins, who's also a lesbian.
Ooh.
But yeah, one day soon, I hope, knock on wood.
Mm,
There's been women in the league in the past. There's no reason there can't be again.
indeed.
It's just a matter of a team signing a woman, which, ugh. And the thing is women race in like F4 for sure.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's any gals in F3 or definitely not in 2.
Yeah.
F3 women drivers. There Sophia Florish was the first and so far only woman to have raced in F3, competing in 2020, 23, and 24. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and there's definitely, I'm pretty sure, never been in F2. Oh,
Mm.
wait a second. Women drivers.
If a woman gets to
Yeah.
F1, rest assured I will buy all her merch.
Oh, absolutely. I don't care. Well, I was going to say, I don't care what team she's with. I'm going to back her. But if it's McLaren, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard.
Um,
Oh, is F1 the same as rally driving? No.
no.
No, not even close. It is uh open wheel, single seater, the highest caliber of motorsport. Um yeah, it's not even close to rally, but rally is very cool as well. I do like rally.
Mm.
I didn't know there were other Fs. Yeah, it's like the B league, the C league, the D league.
Mm.
But F1 is the pinnacle.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to have major upper
Yeah.
body strength and neck strength because
Yeah.
you hit 5 to 6 Gs of gravity in turns and in crashes upwards of 50.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need significant neck strength. F1 drivers' necks are all extremely wide. They're like as wide as their entire heads because they need to not snap their necks in turns. And upper body strength is super crucial. Yep. You have to be very
Mm.
strong. People
Got
think
it.
like it's just like you get in a car and drive, but no, they are very strong and very
Mm.
intense.
Gotta hit the gym. And I think now there's a bunch of different F1 exhibitions opening up where you can sit in, a
Mm.
car and it's like a really weird way to sit, like your whole body is just in a tube, basically.
Ah, fax machine. I'd snap like a Barbie left in the sun.
Hey, well, when we
Oh,
get our plot of land, we'll do our neck exercises
yeah,
out in
exactly.
the common
Neck
area.
training at the bird's nest.
Yeah, gonna
Oh,
start
that's
our,
so funny. Like a Barbie left in the sun is such a specific reference,
yeah.
but it's so real. Oh, that's so funny.
Mhm.
Googled to look at their necks and just got recommended an article titled "What Current F1 Drivers Would Look Like in Formula One." Yeah, Maxine Verstappen.
Wow. The internet, what can we say?
That's so funny. Yeah. There's always been like when Daniel Ricciardo was racing, there was a story in the news every single year about how his hips were too wide for the F1 cars.
Oh.
Because apparently he's just a slightly curvy man, I guess.
Yeah.
And every single year it's like Daniel Ricciardo's hips do lie or whatever, you know, too wide for the F1 seat.
Hips
Team
are
has to
messing up all the
rebuild.
aerodynamics of the car.
Right? Like, it's so funny. Oh, good times, good times. Thanks, chat, for indulging the Formula One talk. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you guys just want drama, there is this Netflix series called Drive to Survive. Doesn't particularly portray the F1 season as it happened, but they definitely put in some plot lines that are
Mhm.
amusing to follow.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you can see my favorite team, Haas, messing up every year.
Last year they did quite well.
They had a quiet year. There was no glaring errors.
Except for Kevin's race ban.
Oh yeah, well, what do you expect?
What do you expect? Let's look at the team standings. Where is Haas right now? They're in ninth out of 10 teams. Okay.
Hey, it could be worse.
It could be worse. They could be
Eh,
10th.
Next year we could be ninth out of 11
11 teams.
teams. Yeah,
Woo!
moving up.
Yes, our F1 drivers usually small. Yeah, short and very lithe. Um, there are a couple drivers who are 6 feet tall, and they're considered like obnoxiously
Like
huge in the
Ocon.
sport. Yeah, Ocon and Russell, they're considered to be like weirdo freaks because they're so tall and big. But yeah, they're usually like 5'7", 5'8", and they have to be lightweight as well because the less heavy the car is, the faster it's going to go. However, there was a long history of drivers having eating disorders to stay as light as possible, which is obviously awful. And so they have implemented a minimum weight that you
Mhm.
must be in order to be an F1 driver.
Which pops up when you least expect it sometimes.
Yeah, very much so. Yes, like jockeys of the mechanical steed. Exactly. Exactly.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Mhm. Oh, but I was gonna say expired milk, regarding because Kevin's race band just reminded me. If they do in fact sign Bottas to Cadillac, his first race, he will start with a 5-place grid penalty left over from last year.
F1's so petty.
I know. Isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm excited for next year though.
Me
Like,
too. Yeah, new regulations, a new
mhm.
team.
Yeah. But it kind of sucks because I ended up missing most of the races because I'm always doing a
Yeah.
show on Sundays, but that's
Mhm.
why I rely mostly on podcasts and
Yeah.
highlight videos.
Yeah, I'm actually so excited though because my best friend who got into this is so like to be loved is to be seen or to be seen is to be loved. She started watching Drive to Survive because she wanted to understand me and my love for the sport in
Yeah.
order to better connect with me. Oh. And now she's obsessed, which is so beautiful. But anyway, she's moving in with me. And so now we're going to get to watch the races together every weekend.
Yay.
Oh,
And like
so
you're in kind of a rough time zone too.
oh, yeah, races are always at, like, 5 or 6 AM here.
Yeah.
So, we're, like, set my alarm for, like, 4:45 and, like, stumble down the stairs. Ugh, good times, I'm very excited. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, that was our Formula One segment,
Mhm.
everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. Well, oh, you know what? Actually, my old Tumblr, before I changed my Tumblr name to Radical Ramblings, but before I was Radical Ramblings, I was F1 like the number one. So feminist, but F1
Uh,
minist.
I get it, I get it. See,
Stylized like
I
that.
could never navigate Tumblr. I tried to make an account once in high school, and then I guess I couldn't see how you could search for things, so I just forgot about it. And then I tried to make an account maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. It was probably during the plague because I was bored.
Mm.
And you sign up and it says, "What are you interested in?" So I typed Formula 1, Star Wars, and like K-pop or something. So it sends me to my Tumblr homepage, and the entire homepage is F1 fan fiction. I'm
Yeah, there is some of
like,
that
"No,
on Tumblr for
I
sure.
didn't know." Yo, they're fit for everything.
Mhm. There is. Yep. Yeah. So what's your weekend like? What do you got going on?
I'm getting ready to ship out for a quest that will go all the way until Christmas.
Mm.
Um, Mixed in, I've been summoned to my parents' house because they just got a bunch of the house redone, but they're like, "You have stuff here. Either throw it out or take it home with you." So I gotta go do that.
I had to do that recently too, yeah.
Yeah. And I did, for some reason, offer to work a wedding the day before I leave. So I'll be not in my house packing for 14 hours that day.
Mhm.
But hey, at least I'll make some money. And yeah, then it's off to tech rehearsals, which is usually quite dramatic.
Um, are you just in the United States this run?
Yeah, this first half will just be US. It continues into next year, at which point we'll have some Canada dates. I don't know what those are
Wow.
yet. But yeah, I'll be able to hang out up in Canada again. Hopefully we'll go to Kingston this time. I do like Kingston.
Never been.
Yeah, it's very old fashioned. I love old architecture. Canada is lacking a lot of old
Well,
architecture.
yeah, we're a baby country.
Yeah, someone mentioned how many years can it was like it's been around for like 2 years or something. Canada's 2 years old.
Um, yeah, Canada was founded in 1867,
Yeah.
so we're a baby country.
Mm.
And some of our provinces didn't even join Canada until the 19 teens.
Wow.
I know.
Hey, I still want to go up to the Yukon just to say that I've been there and to see what's happening.
Not a much. I've never been, but it's like empty. Like the population of the Yukon is like 40,000 people.
Mhm. But I did hear back in the day it was a bit of a gold rush situation,
Yes.
perhaps.
The
Mm.
Klondike especially.
Oh, I did not know.
Very much so.
Yeah, I looked at pictures and said, "Oh, that looks pretty." Then I asked the Canadians. They said, "It's pretty, but it's cold.
Yeah.
These bears are going to eat you." I said, "Oh,
And
okay."
also in the Yukon and the Northwest Territories and Nunavut, they have periods like months of 24-hour sun or 24-hour darkness.
Right. Yeah, the sun situation really messed me up last time I was there. Arriving in Medicine Hat, thinking, "Hey, I'm kind of tired, but it's still early because the sun was still up." No, it was 10 p.m.
Oh yeah, in the like June, Julys of summer, it's the sun is up until 10. It starts setting around like 10:15, 10:30.
Yep. Very Twilight Zone.
Mhm. But on the flip side, it also starts rising around 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, that's rough. But
Beautiful.
yeah, this weekend I'm like I said, I'm probably going to the fair after work tomorrow. I can't go before 3 because I have a job, mom and dad. Jeez. Gonna get, some fairground food. Have to get a corn dog when you go to the fair.
Yeah.
Play some midway games. And then, oh, on Saturday, I'm dog sitting at a new house that I've been to before, and they have a pool that I am welcome to use. So I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next week, my friend is moving in
Woohoo!
officially. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that and spending time together and doing all the things.
Yes, I got to, or not this weekend, but last weekend for the concerts, I got to hang out with my oldest friend. But these days, each time we meet, it's more like I'm trying to mentally record all the red flags her husband is showing and
Oh
then
boy.
preparing accordingly for when this all goes sideways. But, it is what it is.
Ugh, rough. Rough.
Yeah, keep an eye out on your friends, everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And remind them that separatism is a possibility.
Mhm. And say if your husband keeps trying to make you quit your job and move into the middle of nowhere, you shouldn't just say yes.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for joining me, Expired Milk.
Indeed, it's been fun.
Yes, I was so glad to stream with you. Um, yeah, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, yeah.
And thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. You're all so wonderful and I appreciate you. Um, I have a stream coming up. Let me look at my calendar here. On the 27th, next Wednesday, I'll be streaming with Nena and Rusty.
Woohoo.
Actually, I might as well like pre-launch what we're going to talk about because it's going to be juicy. On Wednesday, Nena, Rusty, and I are going to stream reading, reacting, and roasting the Lesbian Master Doc.
Brr, brr, brr.
It's gonna be so crazy and so funny. I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna deep dive it. Actual lesbians react to the lesbian master doc. So yeah, that'll be on Wednesday. And then I'm sure maybe we'll do like a Friday or a Saturday one again too. So next week. All right, that's it. That's all. Thank you everyone for joining us. You're all great. Contemptuous Carlet, you'll find out on Wednesday.
It's true literature.
Uh, um, let's fucking go. So, yes, look out for that on Wednesday. I'll be there with Nena and Rusty. We'll catch up with them. And yeah, have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us. Um, once the stream is over, refresh it because I'm going to put a link to Expired Milk's Substack in the description.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's that. We'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Have a great night. Bye.